Now that Brooklyn is gentrified, rent has gone up considerably, not only in residential areas, but also for businesses. One business referred to as Jesse's Deli is really feeling the burn of increased rent. In fact, they had been paying about $4,000 a month for their deli, and now the rent has increased to $10,000 a month. And of course, the owner is saying that there's literally no way that they can pay a price like that to continue running their business. So they're unlikely to stay. They're probably going to have to move somewhere else, even though they've been operating that business in Brooklyn since 1989. Now, to protest this rent increase, they've put up some pretty funny signs, in my opinion, making fun of hipsters and hipster businesses. Artisanal landlord price hike sale, 2.5 times the normal price. Okay, so let me give you some examples of things that they're selling. Artisanal roach bombs, which is hilarious. $15.99. Can you imagine $15.99 for Raid? Hand-fried chicken cutlet sandwich.
Dixon's Farm?
Yeah, Dixon's Farm condom. I mean, just funny signs. And this did gain a little bit of traction. People are now kind of paying attention to this issue, and they're trying to rally behind the owner to get some sort of negotiation. Now, I should say that the person who owns the property said that 2 years ago she tried to work out a deal with him so the rent would actually be a lot lower. But the family who runs the business refused to work with her. I don't know how true that is, but let's say that it was $2,000 less than $10,000 and they were expected to pay $8,000 a month for a deli. It's still unreasonable. And unfortunately, you're seeing issues like this in Brooklyn, in San Francisco, and a lot of areas where people have lived for a really long time and now they're being pushed out because of these damn hipsters, which I have nothing against, by the way. All right, Charlie, make your point.
I think that, you see this, the hipster community likes the mom and pop shops, but then they go to Trader Joe's or Whole Foods, so it's like you've got to go to what you want, go to the demand. And a lot of times these mom and pop shops leave, and what comes in is something that looks like a mom and pop shop, but it's owned by a larger company, and that's sort of the trend, which is kind of disturbing. The guys who made the signs actually were both, as they self-confessed, gentrification. How do you say that?
Yep.
So
that was right.
Yeah. Okay.
That's very
good.
impressive.
Book it. Thank you. Count that. So I think that even the people who want it are part of the problem. And I think it's finding a creative solution. $13,000 a month. I don't even think if they, were a drug front, they'd come up with that much money.
It's so much money. And by the way, I think a really easy solution is to have something as simple as rent control. And I know people get really uncomfortable with that because then you're telling property owners how much they can increase rent. But I'll give you an example. West Hollywood, California. It's clean, it's beautiful. Everything is perfect in West Hollywood, if you ask me. I live in West Hollywood, so I'm biased. It's rent controlled, right? So my landlord can increase the rent, I think, 2.5 or 3% every year. And it's awesome because even if the area somehow becomes the next Silicon Valley, the people who are living there aren't going to get pushed out. And that's the fair way to do things. Becca, what do you think? Make your point.
The artisanal invasion of Brooklyn, we've seen it spawned in other cities. And essentially what happens is gentrification sort of bulldozes bodegas and people get upset because they have emotional connection with them or that it's nostalgic. But then there's a part of me that's like, well, if the bodega is selling very definitely not safe, dolphin safe tuna, and then the new store is more like farm to table. I mean, I think there's got to be everything in moderation. And part of me is like, I do like the movement of trying to bring into neighborhoods, bring food that is more sustainable, that is healthier, but it's a bodega, and you need those too. It takes all types, and I'm like, how do you police gentrification? Or police sounds a little aggressive, but how do you moderate it? And that is, like you said, a creative solution. I don't know what that looks like, and rent control is one option, but I'm like, you would love to see communities sort of create some sort of like a board or a task force.
To protect businesses that have been operating there for a while and just simply can't afford inflated rent prices.
Right, with shareholders who can actually create decisions working together. I haven't seen it. I would love to see a community that sort of pilot something like that.
Different, absolutely. Well, here's the question for the story. What's something you buy regularly even though you know it's ridiculously overpriced? Real quick, Charlie.
Coconut water. It's like $4 a thing. I like it, though.
It's really good.
It's
Becca.
hydrating.
Oh my God, coconut water. It's true. It
yes.
was the exact same thing I wrote down because it's the best for a hangover. And I know it's like probably the whitest thing I've ever said, but like it just is. The raw stuff. When it's pink, yeah, girl.
When I was in Costa Rica, they have, of course, people trying to sell you coconut, like actual coconut on the beach, and they call them pipas. So you're like laying there, and there's a guy going pipas, pipas, and you're like, fuck yeah, pipas. I'd buy like 3 a day. Anyway, for me, I would say I'm crazy about sunscreen. So there's like one particular sunscreen that I'm obsessed with, and it's $40. It's too much money, but I like it. I like the way it sits on my face. I like the way that I can put makeup over it. It doesn't feel cakey.
Are you gonna reveal? What is it?
Yeah,
It's Skin Medica SPF 30. Okay. It's perfect if you don't want to use primer under your foundation. And I swear to you, this is not going to turn into a YouTube makeup tutorial.
But I'm feeling you right now.
So good.
Because a lot of sunscreen, if you wear it on your makeup, makes your face really shiny.
Yes.
Or
Does not do that.
The struggle is real.
The struggle is real. So you guys should check that out. Also, comment in the section below and tell me what you're spending your money on and you feel a little guilty about it because it costs more than it should. We love hearing from you guys, and we'll see you soon.